Dad's face was red like a brake light. "You're a leech," he shouted, pointing at my bedroom door like it offended him. Mom stood behind him with her arms crossed, and Bella leaned on the hallway wall, smirking like this was a show. I didn't even get to grab my shoes before they started dumping my boxes out the front door right into the rain. The first box hit the porch step and split. My stuff spilled out: old notebooks, a hoodie, a framed photo of me and Bella when we still looked like sisters. Rain slapped the glass, then slid down it like tears. I bent to save it, and Dad snapped, "Leave it. You want to act grown, be grown somewhere else." "Seriously," my voice came out small, which made my stomach burn with shame. "You're throwing my life outside?" Mom didn't blink. "You need this room," she said like I was a broken chair. "Bella needs this room." Bella finally spoke, all sweet and fake. "It's not personal, it's just you're always here, like I was a stain." Rain soaked through my shirt in seconds. Cardboard turned to mush. The ink on one of my journals started bleeding, black streaks crawling across the page. I scooped up what I could, arms shaking, and dragged the wet boxes to my car. The whole time, Bella watched me like she was waiting for me to beg. I didn't beg, I just looked at Dad and said, "So this is what you're doing?" He waved me off. "Don't make it dramatic." I laughed once, sharp and ugly. "Oh, it's dramatic, you're just used to me taking it." I slammed my trunk and drove off with my wipers fighting for their lives. My hands were so tight on the steering wheel my knuckles went white. My throat felt full, like I swallowed a rock. I kept telling myself, "Don't cry, not yet, not in the car, not where they can live in your head." I crashed on my friend Tasha's couch that night. Her apartment smelled like coffee and laundry soap, warm and normal. She didn't ask for the full story right away. She just handed me a towel and said, "You good?" I wanted to say yes. I wanted to act tough. Instead, I whispered, "They threw my stuff in the rain." Tasha's face shifted, anger, then focus. "That's messed up. You can stay as long as you need." I stayed 2 nights, then a week, then 2 weeks, and the whole time my phone stayed quiet. "No, are you okay? No, come home." "No, we went too far," just silence. I told myself maybe that was the end of it. Maybe getting kicked out was the worst thing they'd do. Maybe I could work more shifts, stack my money, find a small place, and start fresh. I started moving on in tiny ways, buying a new toothbrush, replacing a soaked phone charger, folding my clothes into neat piles like order could fix the chaos. Then, weeks later, my phone rang while I was in the break room at work. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. It rang again, same number, then a third time. Something in my chest went cold. I stepped outside, air biting my cheeks, and answered. Hey, it's Dad." His voice sounded thin, shaky, like he'd been running. "Where are you? I need you to call me back right now." "What?" I said. "Why?" A pause, a hard swallow, then. "Our money is frozen." I blinked like I didn't hear him right. "Your money is what?" "Frozen," he snapped, panic trying to hide behind anger. "The bank, we can't access anything. Cards are declining." "I'm at the branch and they're acting weird." "What did you do?" I actually looked at my hands like they might be holding a weapon I didn't know about. "Me? Yes, you," he said. "Ever since you left, everything's been," his voice cracked. "Just tell me what you did." I leaned against the brick wall behind the building. The sun was out, bright and rude, like life didn't care. I could hear traffic, a distant siren, someone laughing in the parking lot, normal sounds. "Wrong moment?" "I didn't do anything," I said slowly. "Don't lie to me." I closed my eyes and suddenly I wasn't outside. I was back on the porch, rain pouring, my photo face down in a puddle, Bella's smirk, Mom's flat voice. "Dad calling me a leech." My thumb hovered over the screen. I could have screamed at him. I could have begged for answers. I could have asked why they chose her over me. Instead, I texted him one line while he was still talking, "Ask your daughter." Then I hung up. For a full minute I just stood there, breathing like I'd run a mile. My heart was beating too fast and my brain was lining up memories I'd ignored. Bella asking random questions about my accounts, Mom helping with paperwork, Dad pushing me to be a team player with money. I opened my banking app with shaking fingers, and that's when I saw the first thing that didn't make sense. I stared at my screen until my eyes hurt. The balance looked fine at first, then I tapped details and my stomach dropped. A transfer I didn't recognize, a payee name I'd never added, and a little note under it, "Account review in progress." "Okay," I whispered, "that's not normal." Tasha leaned over from the couch, still in her work t-shirt, hair in a messy bun. "What's wrong?" "My bank," I said. My voice was steady, but my fingers weren't. "Look, She read it fast and frowned. That's fraud-type stuff. Fraud. My chest tightened like someone grabbed my ribs because it wasn't just money to me. It was hours, it was tired feet, it was saying no to stuff other people didn't even think about. I started working at 16, not for fun, for groceries when the fridge looked sad. For the electric bill when mom started lighting candles to save power. For dad's just until payday promises that somehow never ended. At first, he made it sound like I was special. You're the responsible one, he'd tell me in the kitchen when mom was in the other room. You're the only one I can count on. I wanted that so bad, I wanted him proud, so I helped. A lot, then it became expected. I'd get my paycheck and mom would slide bills across the counter, paper smelling like smoke and cheap perfume like I was her personal ATM. Gas is due, we're short on rent. Bella needs money for school, always Bella. Bella was 2 years younger, but in our house she was the sun and the rest of us just circled. Loud, pretty, always going through something. If I worked, I was helping the family. If she wanted something, it was an investment. I tried to be the bigger person. I told myself, she's my sister, we'll figure it out. But the help kept growing and my life kept shrinking. I had my own plans, get out, get a tiny place, maybe take classes at night. But every time I saved a little, something urgent happened and my savings disappeared like it was never mine. Dad started pushing me to do it the smart way. He told me to open a second checking account for bills. Put the family stuff there, he said, tapping the table like he knew what he was doing. Makes it clean. Makes it easy. I did it because I trusted him, because I wanted fewer fights. Because every time I hesitated, mom would hit me with that same line, after everything we've done for you. Soon, that family account wasn't just for bills. It became the account they watched. Mom would ask, did you get paid yet? Like it was her business. Dad would say, don't be difficult, we're all in this together. Bella would stroll by and smirk, what's the password again? Like it was a joke. I'd laugh and say, girl, no. But the truth, I'd given them enough access over time that the line between mine and theirs got blurry, and they loved it blurry. I scrolled my transactions again. The transfer was small enough to hide. That was the part that made my skin crawl. Whoever did it wasn't careless. They were careful. Tasha pointed at the screen. When's the last time anyone else touched your login? I almost said never. Then a memory hit me. Bella at the dining table with my laptop open, nails clicking, acting casual. Just checking something for Dad, she'd said, not even looking up. I'd been washing dishes, hands wet, brain tired. I didn't fight it. Now I felt stupid for every time I let it slide. Another alert popped up like a punch. New device signed in. Location home, not Tasha's place, not my phone, home. My stomach went ice cold. I stared at that new device alert until my eyes felt dry. Home, not Tasha's place, not my phone, home like a fingerprint. Tasha grabbed her keys. We're not guessing. We're checking. We went straight to my bank's nearest branch after my shift. The place smelled like cold air and copier paper. Everything looked calm, fake calm, like nobody inside had ever had their stomach drop in real time. At the counter, the woman behind the glass smiled like it was just another Tuesday. How can I help you? I slid my phone across. That's not me, that login, that transfer. Her smile thinned. She tapped her keyboard, eyes scanning. I can see multiple sign-ins, some from your usual device and some from another device. My throat tightened. Can you tell what device? She hesitated, then said carefully, I can tell it's not the same one you normally use. And I can tell the sign-in location matches the address on file. Home. I felt my skin go cold, then hot, like my body didn't know whether to freeze or fight. Tasha leaned in. Can she lock it down right now? Yes, the woman said. We can reset credentials, log out all devices, and set stronger verification. I nodded fast. Do it. The woman printed a form and slid it under the glass. Sign here, this will force a full sign-out. My hand shook as I signed. I hated that my signature looked like fear. When we walked out, the sun hit my face and I felt weirdly dizzy, like my brain was 2 seconds behind my body. Tasha said, okay, next, your email. If someone got into your bank, they probably got into your email. That word probably made my stomach twist again. Back at her place, I opened my email security page. My heart beat in my ears as the screen loaded. Recent activity, devices, recovery options. There it was, a recovery email I didn't recognize. I blinked hard, then I read it again. It wasn't random. It was Bella's old email, one she used back in high school. Same name pattern. Same little numbers at the end. My hands went numb. No, I whispered. No way. Tasha's face went tight. That's your first solid proof. It didn't feel like proof. It felt like betrayal with a receipt. I changed my email password, turned on the extra verification, and removed that recovery address. Then I sat back and stared at the wall like I was watching my life from outside my own body. Tasha lowered her voice. You sure you want to go over there? I swallowed. I need my mail and I need to see their faces when they say it. We drove to my parents' house just before dinner time. The sky was clear, but my chest felt like storm weather. My hands were sweaty on the steering wheel. I told myself, don't explode, don't beg, don't give them that. I knocked. Dad yanked the door open like he'd been waiting to yell. So you finally answer? His eyes went straight to my phone. Like it was a weapon, like I'd done something to him. I'm here for my mail, I said, and my last few things. Mom appeared behind him, mouth tight. Bella wasn't in the doorway. That alone told me she was hiding. Dad snapped, you want to explain why we can't access our money? Our money, I repeated slow. You mean your money? He flinched like I slapped him. Don't play games. I stepped inside and the house hit me with the usual smell, cleaner on top of old grease, like they tried to scrub problems instead of fixing them. Then I saw it. My old laptop was on the kitchen counter, open, plugged in, screen glowing. A yellow sticky note was stuck right under the trackpad, 4 numbers, a little word, a symbol, my old password pattern. My stomach flipped so hard I thought I might actually throw up right there on their tile floor. Mom followed my eyes and rushed forward too fast. Don't touch that. That was all I needed. I moved like I was calm, like I wasn't shaking inside. I set my bag down, leaned in like I was just picking up my charger, and angled my phone. Click. A clean photo of the sticky note and my laptop. Dad's voice rose. What are you doing? Getting my stuff, I said, keeping my voice flat. Then Bella finally drifted in from the hallway, acting sleepy and innocent. She wore new leggings and a fresh set of nails, glossy, expensive. She looked at my phone, then at the laptop, and her eyes flicked away too fast. A tiny tell. She smiled anyway. Wow, you're really making this a thing. My mouth went dry. Bella, I said, why is your email listed as my recovery address? Her face didn't crack right away, just a quick blink like a glitch. Then she laughed, loud and wrong. I have no idea what you're talking about, she said, and Mom jumped in like it was rehearsed. Stop accusing your sister, Mom snapped. You always do this, you always make everything ugly. Dad stepped closer, jaw clenched. Fix it. Now, I looked at all of them, 3 faces, 1 story, and for the first time I didn't feel small because I wasn't guessing anymore. I had proof in my pocket and Bella didn't know what I'd just captured. Bella's smile stayed glued on, but her eyes kept bouncing. My phone, the laptop, Mom's face, like she was tracking where the danger was. I don't know what you're talking about, she said again, louder this time, like volume could turn lies into facts. Mom stepped between us. You're being paranoid. You always think someone's out to get you. Dad rubbed his forehead like I was giving him a headache. I'm at the bank losing my mind and you're in here playing detective. I held my voice flat. I'm not playing, your money's frozen. My email had Bella's address as recovery, my bank shows logins from this house, and my laptop has my password on a sticky note. Bella scoffed. That sticky note could be yours. You lived here? Yeah, I said, and I didn't need a sticky note for my own password. That landed, not hard but clean. Dad's face twitched like he almost saw it. Then he snapped back into his usual role, angry, loud, blame first. Okay, so what, you want an apology? He barked. You got kicked out because you were disrespectful. Now you come back trying to ruin us? Mom nodded fast, piling on. Exactly, you left and now you want to punish us, that's what this is. Bella tilted her head, fake sad. You always do this thing where you make everyone the villain so you can feel better. My stomach clenched. That was her favorite move, turn my pain into my personality flaw. I looked at Dad. Where's my mail? He jerked his chin toward the counter. There. I grabbed it and kept my hands steady. My heart was banging, but I wasn't giving them the show. Bella leaned in, voice sugary. Just fix the bank thing, okay? Like, whatever you did, undo it. I met her eyes. I didn't do anything, you did. She laughed again, but her laugh cracked at the end. Prove it. I almost said I already did. Instead, I just smiled like I had time. That made her blink. Dad stepped closer, chest out. Listen, we're a family. We don't do this petty stuff. You want to be grown, fine, but don't sabotage us. I felt a little flash of heat. You threw my boxes in the rain. You called me a leech and you want to talk to me about family? Mom's face went hard. You were draining us. I laughed, quiet. Yeah, show me where, show me the numbers. Silence, because there were no numbers. Just vibes and excuses. Bella rolled her eyes. Oh my God, you're exhausting. Funny, I said, that's exactly how I feel about you. Dad pointed at the door. Get your stuff and go. You're not gonna stand here and accuse people. I picked up the last small box near the hallway, my old yearbook, a couple of books, and that photo frame I'd saved from the rain. The glass was still scratched. The picture inside had watermarks like faint bruises. As I walked out, Bella followed close behind me, too close, like she wanted to be sure I didn't take the laptop. At the doorway she whispered low so Mom and Dad wouldn't hear. You think you're smart, you're not, you're just mad you're not needed anymore. I paused, rain memory flashing in my head, and turned slightly. You were never needed, you were just loud. Her face flickered one tiny second of real anger, then she smoothed it back into that smirk. Whatever, she said, good luck out there. I walked to my car with my box and mail, hands cold, jaw tight. The house behind me looked normal from the street, trim lawn, warm porch light, like nothing rotten lived inside. When I got in the car, my phone buzzed. Bank alert, password reset attempted. I stared at it. The timing was too perfect. I'd been inside their house for maybe 10 minutes. They were trying again. Right now, Tasha called as I pulled away. You okay? No, I said, but I'm not confused anymore. I told her about the reset attempt. She went quiet, then said, okay, they're bold, which means they've been doing it a while. My throat went dry. Like how long? Long enough to get comfortable, she said, which means it's probably not just one little transfer. I pulled into a parking lot and opened my email security again, another sign-in from the same area. Another attempt to add a recovery method. Like someone was slamming doors in my face from inside my own life. Then a text popped up from Bella. Stop acting crazy, you're embarrassing yourself. I stared at it and something inside me went calm in a way that scared me, because I finally understood the game. They didn't just want my money, they wanted my doubt. They wanted me too tired to fight back. They wanted me to question my own eyes while they kept their hands in my pockets. I typed back one word, noted, then I turned my phone off and sat in the quiet listening to my own breathing. Tasha's voice was steady. You got that photo? Yeah, I said. Good, she replied, because now we're gonna do this the smart way. And right then I knew the next move wasn't gonna be loud, it was gonna be surgical. Tasha didn't hype me up. She didn't say karma or God's got you. She just opened her laptop and said, okay, we treat this like a fire. Step 1, stop the spread. We sat at her kitchen table with a lamp buzzing overhead, the kind of light that makes everything look too honest. I laid my phone down. She slid a notepad toward me. Timeline, she said. Short, clean dates if you can. I wrote, kicked out, boxes in rain, weird transfers, recovery email, changed, new device, signed in from home, sticky note on my laptop, reset attempt right after I left. Tasha nodded. Good, now we lock your life down. The next morning we went back to the bank, same smell, same calm faces. This time we asked for their fraud person. They brought us into a little office with a glass wall and a fake plant in the corner. A woman in a navy blazer shook my hand. I'm Miss Clark, tell me what happened. I didn't ramble, I didn't cry, I just slid my phone across the desk and said those sign-ins weren't me. And that recovery email wasn't mine either. Miss Clark looked at the screenshots, then at me. You did the right thing coming in. First, we're going to secure your profile. Second, we're going to separate anything that's shared. Shared? I asked. She didn't even flinch. You'd be surprised how often family members have access without the account owner realizing it. That hit like a slap because yeah. I had been the responsible one. I had been the helper. I had been the idiot. Miss Clark tapped her keyboard. I see a connected device that's not yours, and I see repeated attempts to regain access after you changed your password. That suggests someone knows your patterns. Tasha leaned forward, like someone in her home. Miss Clark didn't say Bella, she didn't have to, she just said the access is coming from the address on file. My throat tightened. So what happens now? We can restore your access, she said, but anything tied to other people's activity will stay under review. I thought about Dad's voice, panicked, angry. I thought about Mom's blank eyes. I thought about Bella's smirk. And something inside me settled. Don't unfreeze anything that isn't mine, I said. Miss Clark paused for half a second, then she nodded like she understood exactly what I meant. Okay, we spent the next hour cleaning up the mess. New cards, new logins, new security. Miss Clark printed a sheet and pointed at it. This is your list of authorized access points, she said. We're removing anything you don't recognize. I watched her delete the unknown device like she was cutting a wire. My shoulders loosened a little just from seeing it gone. When we left, Tasha exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for days. Okay, she said, now we make sure she didn't touch anything else. Like what? I asked, even though I already felt the answer in my gut. Your credit, she said. If someone's bold enough to mess with your bank, they might have tried bigger moves. Back at her place, I pulled my credit report up. The page loaded slow like it was enjoying my fear. I scanned the lines. Old stuff I recognized, my car loan, my student account. Normal, then I saw it, a hard inquiry I didn't remember, dated 2 months ago from a store card I'd never applied for. My mouth went dry. No, Tasha leaned in. What? I pointed, my fingertip hovered like the words could bite me. That's not me. We clicked deeper, and there it was, an account opened in my name, a balance that wasn't small. Payments made late, then made again like someone was juggling it. I stared so hard my eyes started watering, but I refused to blink it away like it would disappear. Tasha's voice got low. That's identity theft. I swallowed. Don't say it like that. It is what it is, she said, and you don't have to handle it loud, you just have to handle it smart. My phone buzzed again, Dad this time. I let it ring, then Mom, then Bella. 3 calls in a row like a chorus. Finally a text from Dad, call me now, we can't buy groceries. Another from Mom, you're really doing this to us? Then Bella right on top of them like she couldn't help herself. You always overreact, stop being dramatic. I stared at that last one and my hands stopped shaking because the truth was simple now. They weren't scared I'd ruin them, they were scared I'd stop saving them. I set my phone face down, opened my notes app and wrote one new line under my timeline, credit card in my name. Tasha looked at me. You ready to go back there? I didn't answer right away, I just picked up my keys because yeah. I was ready. The whole drive over my phone kept buzzing like a trapped fly. Dad, Mom, Bella, I didn't answer, I just gripped the wheel and told myself one thing, stay calm, stay sharp. When we pulled up, the porch light was on even though it wasn't dark yet, like they were trying to look normal on purpose. Tasha stayed in the car. If it gets ugly, text me one word and I'm coming in, she said. I nodded and walked up. Dad opened the door before I knocked. His eyes were wild. So you are doing this? I'm not doing anything, I said. I'm here for answers. Mom appeared behind him like a shadow. You're here to accuse us again? I'm here to talk, I said, like adults. Bella's voice floated from the living room, lazy and fake calm. Oh my God, here we go. I walked in and saw the stack of packages by the stairs, brown boxes. Clear tape, shipping labels. My stomach flipped because my name was on one of them, not Bella, not Mom, mine. I picked it up and read it out loud, slow. That's my name. Mom's face went blank. It's probably a mistake. Bella didn't even look up from her phone. It's not that deep. I set the box back down like it was dirty. You opened a card in my name. Dad's jaw clenched. Nobody opened anything. I pulled my phone out and showed the credit report screen. Then explain this. Mom waved her hand like she was swatting a bug. You're always on those websites. You probably clicked something. Bella finally looked up. Her smile was tight. You're seriously blaming me for your bad credit? That's crazy. My credit was fine, I said, until 2 months ago. Bella laughed, quick and mean. You're obsessed. Mom stepped closer, voice sharp. You're making stuff up to punish us because we put you out. I stared at her. You put me out in the rain. You dumped my boxes like trash. And you're still talking like you're the victim. Dad slammed his hand on the back of the couch. Enough, tell the bank to unfreeze our money. That line right there told me everything. Not are you okay, not we messed up, just fix it for us. I took a slow breath. I didn't freeze anything. The bank did that because someone was logging into accounts from this house. Dad scoffed. So you're saying we're thieves now? I'm saying someone used my info, I replied. And I'm not carrying it anymore. Bella leaned back, all attitude. You always want drama, you always want attention. I looked at her nails, fresh, glossy, not cheap, then I looked at the packages again. That new set cost what? I asked. 100 too. Bella's eyes flashed. Mind your business. It became my business when my name got used, I said. Dad pointed at me like I was the problem. You're not gonna come in here and interrogate people, you're not some cop. I'm not, I said. I'm just the person you've been using. Mom crossed her arms. We fed you, we raised you. And I paid, I said, quiet, over and over. I paid bills, I paid shortfalls, I paid for Bella's emergencies. Bella rolled her eyes. Stop acting like a saint. I'm not a saint, I said. I'm the fool who kept saying okay. Dad's voice went lower, dangerous. So what now? You gonna cut us off? You think you can survive without us? That almost made me laugh. I reached into my bag and pulled out a single sheet of paper, a list, simple, dates and amounts, every time I gave money. Every time I covered something, I'd made it last night with Tasha just to see it in one place. I placed it on the coffee table. Mom stared at it, Dad didn't. Bella glanced once, then looked away fast. Microtel. Like she already knew what was on it. You called me a leech, I said, keeping my voice even, so I did something about it. Dad's eyes narrowed. What did you do? I removed myself from anything that lets you reach me, I said. No shared access, no family logins, no recovery emails, no cards tied to my name, no more auto payments from my accounts. Mom's face tightened. Auto payments, I nodded. The stuff you didn't even notice I was handling. Bella sat up straighter. Wait, what did you stop? I kept my gaze on Dad. Ask your daughter, I said again, slow. She's the one who likes grabbing what isn't hers. Dad's face twitched. For the first time, real doubt showed up, not about me, about Bella. Bella jumped in fast, voice high. He's not gonna believe you, you're just mad, you're always jealous. I leaned down, close enough that only she could hear, and said in a calm, flat voice, check the packages. Then check the card, then check who's stuck holding the bag now. Her smirk slipped for half a second, and that half second was enough. I walked to the door while Mom started shouting behind me and Dad demanded answers. Bella didn't say a word because she was already doing math in her head. When I got outside, my phone buzzed once. A new alert. Another login attempt, blocked. I smiled without meaning to. Because I knew exactly what Bella was going to do next and I'd already set the trap for it. I didn't go straight back to Tasha's place. I drove around for a while with the radio off, letting my brain cool down. When you grow up in chaos, your body learns to expect it. Even in silence, I could still hear Mom's voice in my head. You're dramatic. Bella's, you're embarrassing yourself. Nah, not this time. I pulled into a grocery store parking lot and turned my phone back on. 3 missed calls, a dozen texts. The last one from Dad hit first. Get back here, you're tearing this family apart. Then Bella, acting like the victim. Why are you doing this to us? I stared at her question and almost laughed, like she didn't just stick her hands into my life like it was her purse. Tasha called the second she saw my location. You okay? Yeah, I said, and my voice surprised me. It was calm. I'm done being scared. Good, she said. Then we do the next steps tonight. Back at her place, she set 2 cups of coffee on the table like we were about to study for an exam. Okay, she said, you're not gonna catch her with yelling, you catch her with facts. We made a simple folder on my phone, no fancy stuff, just clean, clear screenshots and photos. The bank alert with the home login, the email recovery address with Bella's email. The photo of my laptop and sticky note, the credit report showing the card opened in my name, the package label with my name on it. Tasha nodded like a coach. Now we make sure you can't be touched again. The next morning we went back to the bank. Miss Clark's office smelled like mint gum and printer ink. She looked at my face and said, you came back, that's good. I put my phone down and slid the new screenshots toward her. They tried again. Right after I left the house. Miss Clark's eyes tightened. Okay, we're going to add extra barriers, and I recommend you put a freeze on your credit so no new accounts can be opened. Do it, I said. She walked me through it like I was a person worth protecting. That alone felt weird. I didn't realize how used to being unprotected I was until somebody actually helped. Then she said something that made my stomach drop all over again. Sometimes, she said carefully, people don't just open a card, they redirect mail, they try to intercept replacement cards. Any chance they had access to your mailbox? I thought of Dad tossing my mail on the counter like it was trash. Yeah, I said, they did, Miss Clark nodded. Then change where your mail goes. Immediately, on the way home, I filed a change of address. I switched everything I could to paperless. I changed every password again, this time with a pattern nobody could guess. I killed "Remember Me" on everything. I wasn't playing nice with my own security anymore. That night, Dad texted, "Come over, we need to talk." Mom followed, "Stop making our life hell." Then, "Bella, you're ruining everything." That last one made my jaw clench. Not "I'm sorry," not "I didn't do it." Just "you're ruining everything," like the problem was me noticing. I texted Dad back one line, "Tomorrow, just you, coffee shop on 8th, 6 p.m. Tasha raised an eyebrow. "You sure?" "I need him away from Mom," I said, "and away from her." Because Bella always ran the room when she was in it. She didn't argue with facts, she drowned them with noise. The next day at work, my phone buzzed again. Bank alert. New payee added, attempt blocked. I stared at it and my hands went cold. Because that meant Bella wasn't just trying to get back in, she was trying to take something new. Tasha's voice was tight when I showed her. "She's getting desperate." "Good," I said, and surprised myself again. Desperate people slip. At 5:58 p.m., I sat in the coffee shop with my folder open, my hands steady, my heart loud. The place smelled like espresso and cinnamon. Couples talked. A kid laughed, normal life happening around my private war. At 6:02, Dad walked in looking older than I remembered. He saw me and his face tightened like he came ready to fight. He sat down and didn't even say hi. "Fix it," he said. "Fix the money." I looked him dead in the eye and slid my phone across the table. "I will," I said. "But first you're going to finally see what your golden girl's been doing." And the moment his eyes dropped to my screen, I saw it, real confusion, real fear, like his whole world was about to tilt. Dad stared at my phone like it was a live wire. His jaw worked like he was chewing on denial. "This could be a glitch," he said, but his voice didn't have any fight in it anymore. "It's not a glitch," I said. "Look at the dates. Look at the location. Look at the recovery email." He scrolled, slower now. His eyes got stuck on the screenshot where Bella's old email sat under account recovery like it belonged there. Then he saw the bank alert with the new device sign-in from home and his face went pale around the edges. He swallowed hard. "Why would she?" I let the question hang. The coffee shop noise filled the gap, steam hissing, cups clinking, someone laughing 2 tables over like the world was simple. Dad's hands started shaking. "Your mom would never allow this." I didn't snap, I didn't even roll my eyes. I just said, "Daddy, Mom allowed them to throw my boxes in the rain." His eyes flicked up, then away, like he hated that I was right. I slid the next screenshot forward. The credit account opened in my name. That's not yours?" he asked, like he needed the lie to be true. "No," I said, "and the packages with my name on them, those weren't mine either." Dad's face tightened. "Bella buys stuff online all the time." "Exactly," I said. "And when she runs out of her own money, she grabs someone else's." He looked at the phone again and something in him shifted like a door finally cracked open. "What do you want?" he asked low. "What are you trying to do here?" I leaned back and kept my voice calm. "I want you to stop asking me to fix things I didn't break." Dad's eyes went sharp. "So you can fix it?" "I can fix my side," I said. "I already did. New passwords, new address, no shared access. Credit locked. The bank blocked the attempts. I'm safe now." He stared at me. "Then why are we still frozen?" "Because you're tied to the mess," I said. "You've been using my accounts like they're family property. You've been letting Bella use my info like it's hers. When the bank sees that, they lock everything until it's clear." Dad's mouth opened like he wanted to argue. Then he shut it again because he didn't have a clean answer. I took a breath. "Here's what I'm willing to do. I'll sit with you at the branch tomorrow. I'll confirm what's mine and what isn't. I'll make sure my name is cut off anything you touch. After that, you handle your own money like grown people." His eyes narrowed. "And Bella," I held his gaze, "you handle her." Dad's face twitched. "Your mother will defend her." "I know," I said, "but you asked me to be grown. This is grown. You want things unfrozen? You want your life back? Then stop letting her steal mine." He stared at the table for a long second like he was looking at all the years he'd ignored. Then he whispered, "Come home tonight, just for a talk." "All of us?" My stomach turned, but I nodded. "Okay, one talk." Tasha was waiting in the car when I got outside. She watched my face and said, "How'd it go?" "He believes me," I said. "At least he's starting to." "Good," she said. "Tonight is where she slips." When we pulled up to the house later, the porch light was on again. Same fake normal glow. Inside, the air felt heavy like the walls had been holding secrets for years. Dad was in the living room, standing. Mom sat stiff on the couch. Bella was on her phone like none of this mattered. Dad spoke first. "Bella, hand me your phone," Bella laughed. "What? No, now," he said, and his voice had a new edge to it, not anger at me, authority at her. Bella's smile twitched. "Why?" "Because," Dad said, holding my screenshots in his hand, "your sister's accounts got hit from this house, and your email was tied to hers. Explain that." Bella's eyes flashed. "This is insane." "She's manipulating you," Mom jumped in fast. "She's doing this to punish us." I stayed quiet. I didn't argue, I just watched Bella's face. Dad held up the photo of the sticky note on my laptop. "What's this?" Bella scoffed, but her throat bobbed. "That's old, she left it." "You wrote it," I said softly. Bella snapped her head at me. "Shut up." Dad's voice went low. "Bella," and that's when she slipped. She threw her hands up and said, "I only used it because you guys needed help. You were freaking out about bills and she was gone and somebody had to do something." The room went dead quiet. Mom froze. Dad stared at Bella like he'd never seen her before. "You used it," Dad said, slow. Bella's eyes went wide. She tried to pull it back. "I mean, like once, it wasn't a big deal. She wasn't even here." Dad's face changed, hurt turning into something harder. "You stole from your sister." Bella stood up fast. "Oh my God, it's not stealing if it's family." Dad's voice cracked like a board breaking. "Get out of her room." Bella blinked. "What?" "You heard me," Dad said. "Pack your stuff. You wanted her room. Fine, now you don't get it. You don't get anything of hers, not her space, not her money. Not her name." Mom stood up too, shaking. "Ray, don't." Dad cut her off. "Enough." Bella's face twisted, ugly now. "You're choosing her." Dad looked at me once, then back at Bella. "I'm choosing the truth." Bella grabbed her phone and stormed down the hallway, slamming the door so hard a picture frame rattled on the wall. Dad turned to me, voice rough. "Tomorrow, we go to the bank, we fix what we can. And after that," he swallowed. "I'm done pretending." My phone buzzed in my pocket, another blocked attempt, another failure on Bella's side, and I felt something settle in me like a final click, because the revenge wasn't loud. It was watching the person who always got away with everything finally run out of doors to hide behind. The next morning, Dad picked me up early. He didn't say much on the drive, just kept tapping the steering wheel like he was trying to wake himself up. The sky was gray and flat, and the air smelled like cold pavement. At the bank, Miss Clark met us in that same little office with the fake plant. She looked at Dad, then at me, then at the folder in my hands. "You're here together," she said. "That helps." Dad cleared his throat. "I messed up," he said, eyes on the carpet. "I let family stuff get mixed up." Miss Clark nodded like she'd heard this 1,000 times. "We'll separate everything cleanly, no shared access. No linked accounts, no recovery methods connected to anyone else." She pulled up screens and started reading out facts like they were nails being tapped into wood. "Here are the login attempts from the home address. Here are the blocked resets. Here is the connected recovery email that was removed. Here is the unknown device that was removed." Dad's face got tighter with every line. When she said recovery email, his hands curled into fists in his lap. Miss Clark looked at me. "Do you authorize any access for anyone in your family moving forward?" I didn't hesitate. "No." Dad flinched, but he didn't argue. Miss Clark clicked and typed. "Okay, your profile is isolated, your cards are reissued, any auto payments from your accounts to their bills are stopped." Dad swallowed. "So, the reason our money is frozen," Miss Clark didn't soften it, "because of irregular access patterns and overlapping activity, it's a risk flag." Dad's shoulders dropped like someone finally took a heavy bag off his back. "So what do we do?" "You," she said, pointing at him with her pen, "need accounts that belong to you. Only you, no shared passwords, no shared devices. And if someone else is using your online banking, you stop that immediately." Dad nodded like a kid getting scolded. "Understood." Then Miss Clark turned to me again. "As for the credit account opened in your name, we can guide you on internal dispute steps with the lender. You've already locked your credit, which prevents new accounts." I heard the key part and held it tight. Prevents new accounts, not punishment, not drama, just a door that stays shut. When we walked out, Dad stopped on the sidewalk and stared at the parking lot like he'd forgotten where he was. "I didn't know," he said, voice rough. I looked at him. "You didn't want to know." That hit him harder than yelling ever could. He nodded once, slow, like he accepted it. On the drive back, he finally said, "Your mom's, she's upset." I stared out the window at passing houses. "She's upset she can't control it anymore." He didn't deny it. When we got to the house, Bella was in the living room with her suitcase half open, clothes thrown around like a tornado. Her eyes snapped to Dad. "Well," she demanded. "Did she fix it?" Dad didn't even take his coat off. "No," Bella blinked. "What do you mean no?" "I mean," Dad said, voice calm in a way that scared even me, "her stuff is not ours anymore. Her money is not ours. Her name is not yours." Bella's face twisted. "So we're just broke now because of her?" Dad stepped closer. "We're stuck because of you." Bella laughed like it was fake. "Oh my God, you're actually blaming me." Dad pointed at the suitcase. "You're leaving today?" Bella's mouth fell open. "You can't be serious." Mom rushed in from the kitchen, hands shaking. "Ray, stop." Dad held up a hand without looking at her. "No, you wanted her room so bad, now you get none of it. Pack your things, call whoever you call when you need help. I'm not cleaning up your mess anymore." Bella's eyes went glossy, not with guilt, just rage. "She's turning you against me." Dad looked right at her. "You did that?" Bella snapped her suitcase shut so hard the zipper screamed. Then she turned on me, eyes wild. "You think you won, huh?" I didn't raise my voice, I didn't smile, I just said, "You were wearing my name like it was yours. Now you don't get to touch it." She stood there, breathing hard, like she wanted to say something cruel enough to break me, but she couldn't find the words that worked anymore, because the old version of me, the one who would fold, was gone. Bella shoved past Mom, dragged her suitcase to the door, and left without looking back. After the car pulled away, the house went quiet in a new way. No buzzing phone, no smirks, just the hum of the fridge and the weight of what was done. Dad stared at the empty doorway, then said, barely audible, "I'm sorry." I picked up my bag. "I know." Outside, the air felt cleaner than it should have. I got in my car, started the engine, and for the first time in a long time, my hands didn't shake. I drove away with my name fully mine again.